At Leftover Chef, we share delicious ways to reuse leftovers to save money and help the planet. Welcome to an occasional spin on the show, Celebrity Chef Chat. I'll talk with a well-known and talented chef about their career, food, and a favorite leftover recipe that you can make at home. Let's get chatting. Get ready to meet Mikey Termini, executive sous chef at the JW Marriott at Marco Island, and season 7 Hell's Kitchen contestant. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Leftover Chef. I am so pleased today to bring a new segment to you called Celebrity Chef Chat. And I am super grateful and so honored to have Chef Mikey Termini here, who is the executive chef at the JW Marriott, here today for our Celebrity Chef Chat. Welcome so much, and thank you for being in our inaugural episode.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Chef, you've got a really interesting history, and you are currently at the JW Marriott in Marco Island, Florida, which is where I met you. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I was wondering if you could give our viewers just a little overview of your culinary history.
So I actually started cooking at a young age, big Italian family. So I pretty much did it as a really young child. Cooking with my dad, cooking with my mom, lots of family, lots of gatherings. And then right after high school, I was born and raised in Santa Cruz, California. I jumped on a plane from there after high school and moved to Hawaii, Maui, Hawaii.
Wow.
So from there, I started doing dishes in a restaurant, and the chef asked me if I wanted to start cooking, and I just took to it like a fish out of water. So he saw talent in me, I guess, and I started cooking at that little Southern cuisine restaurant. After that, moved over to another resort where I was doing breakfast, moved up to sous chef there. After that, I did a short stint in Canada for a summertime.
Wow. It's a good time to be in Canada.
Yeah, it was perfect. It started getting cold around the end, but really amazing getting to see all the different cuisines that they were playing with, the wild game and everything. When I got back to Hawaii, I actually opened up a restaurant with my old executive chef. It was called Big Wave Cafe in Kihei, Hawaii.
Oh, I love that
Um,
area.
oh, it's
So
beautiful.
beautiful.
Right up the beach, great community. Um, so I owned that for about 3 years, and then I sold out my portion and got into the corporate world, starting with the Four Seasons. So I was Four Seasons Maui for about 7 years, moved up as a sous chef, and then transferred from there to Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Boy, you know how to live in the right places.
Oh, yeah, all horrible places, I'm
Yeah,
telling you. It's
for you.
yeah, so I moved there, and it was in middle of November when I moved me and my family there, my wife and two kids,
You have two
um,
girls, right?
two girls,
Yeah.
yes. But what's funny is they took right from skiing to snowboarding. They loved it.
Wow.
Um, got an
And so now,
amazing experience there.
and so now
Uh,
you're in Florida.
Correct. So after Jackson Hole, Wyoming, I jumped over to Orlando, and then JW Marco stole my heart with that beach.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. So I've
So
been there for 6 years now.
6 years. Okay. So I was fortunate enough to be able to take a sushi making class with you last month, which was incredible. I learned that sushi is something I will probably pay to eat out simply because I don't know if I could get a hold of all the fresh ingredients so readily like you have available to you. But one of the things we talked about in our little class was, first of all, your very, very exciting appearance on Hell's Kitchen. That was season 7, I think. And I remember you had that lobster brie thing happening. Is there
Yep.
any little story or anything you want to share about Hell's Kitchen that, you've taken with you?
Oh, I wouldn't give up that experience for the world. I didn't make it very far on the show, but he loved my signature dish,
You
and
did.
I could have stopped right then. I was happy. But yeah, I didn't make a fool of myself. I took the yelling, took the screaming, and just an amazing experience altogether.
It's very impressive to be able to even say you were chosen to be on that show.
right?
So, can you tell us a little bit about your duties at the JW Marriott? Because when I was there, I noticed there's probably a dozen restaurants.
There's exactly 13 different restaurants in the
Wow.
property, two golf courses off site, plus every cuisine under the sun. So essentially, my duties are to manage all the outlets and just ensure my chef de cuisines are have what they need and they're serving the highest quality, most consistent food.
I
So
think there's no just in front of that. That is a lot of work. And I gotta say, all the food I had while I was there was mind blowing.
excellent, excellent.
So when we were in class, one of the things I asked you, because I love to find out from professional chefs, was what is one of your favorite things to cook at home? And you said leftovers. So that immediately piqued my interest. And we started talking about the show. And you were kind enough to agree to come on. In our preparation for this, I asked you what an interesting recipe you might want to share that our viewers could do at home and that I'm going to make after this and show our viewers because I think one of the things you do so well is you're a great teacher. You know how to break things down, make them simple and achievable. So tell us about the dish that you have that's inspired that we're going to talk about today.
So I thought about making a quiche out of leftover pizza.
Which I struggle to do anything with leftover pizza other than eat it. So this is
Right? Yeah. You can burn it, you can microwave it, but yeah, I've seen a couple different variations of leftover pizza, but this one I thought was it kind of got my brain thinking. Using that pizza crust as basically your quiche, uh, your shell.
okay.
Um,
Would you cut it so it fills the bottom of your pan as closely as possible?
I would. I
Okay.
mean, if you've got traditional New York style slices, if you have your
Yeah.
pieces here, you
Okay.
can almost match together in a small pan.
Sure. Yeah.
Nice and close. I mean, with a quiche, that's the greatest thing. It's okay if it leaks out a little bit because you're going to be baking that egg mixture. And my wife is a huge fan of eggs. We actually have chickens at our house, so we have fresh eggs.
Oh, nothing
So
like it.
it's great. So we'll put eggs in everything. We'll make hard boiled deviled eggs. We'll make custards, and yeah. So quiche is one of our favorite things to make. Spinach, mushrooms are always great.
Okay. I've
Um,
got some mushrooms that need to be used in the fridge and some spinach. I like to do that. And I know I heard you talk about making dinner out of your fridge. You just open it up, see what's there, and
oh,
that's
all
what
the
our viewers love
time.
to do too.
Yep. Yeah. My wife and daughters will ask me. They're like, "Well, there's nothing in the fridge to eat," and I'll say, "Just give me a minute."
Awesome. So whip up the regular eggs and milk, put in whatever ingredients are in the fridge that would be great, and bake
Yep.
it up as we would a normal quiche, right?
Exactly.
And I think I've got some leftover cheese pizza. That's good. I just can't now. I want it right now. It sounds so okay. Well, should we come up with a name for this dish?
Oh gosh.
I think I'm going to call it Mikey's Pizza Quiche. Is
I like it.
that okay with you?
I love it. I love it.
Great. One thing that I noticed about you is you are very passionate about what you do. And you gave us a business card before we left, and you showed us a photo that you had taken, I think, for when you started at the JW Marriott. I'm going to put it up right here. Can you tell us about this photo? It's so fantastic.
Oh, it was great. That was actually supposed to be my initial headshots for arriving at the property. And when they told me I was getting headshots done, I called my fish purveyor and said, "Hey, send me a whole salmon."
Wow.
So the photographer was there. We did our normal headshots. I'm like, "Okay, follow me out to the beach." And we went out there and we just had a blast. I'm walking in the water with it. I'm holding a knife. I'm holding it up. I'm hugging it. There were
What a
so
great
many.
idea.
Oh, I loved it. And guests were walking by and I'm pulling the fish out of the water and they're like, "Did you just catch that?" I go, "No, it's actually a salmon, but yeah."
So I know, I imagine with 13 restaurants, you are constantly managing your food supply, your food sustainability. Is there anything that you do at the JW Marriott that strikes you as, really important for food sustainability?
Well, two of the most important things we do at our property, one is we actually donate to a local church. So any food, let's say that's left from a banquet event that is held at the right temperature the whole time, after the event's done, we chill down that food, we wrap it in disposable packaging, and the very next day the church comes and picks it up.
Oh, that's marvelous. I always
Oh,
wondered what happens to banquet food.
yeah. And because we're such a great property, we're always holding at the proper temperature, so there's no risk of contamination or anything, and the food is completely safe. So it's a shame to just throw it all away.
Right. Well,
And
that
then
that's marvelous.
yeah. The second thing we have what's called an orca. So any biodegradable waste from our property actually gets churned up in this large machine. So watermelon rinds, the ends of romaine lettuce, the cores and rind of a pineapple all gets thrown into this big bin, and it turns it into basically a liquid.
Wow. So kind of like heavy duty on steroids, composting.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
reducing our footprint, reducing the amount of waste we have at the hotel.
Oh, that's marvelous. Thank you
Yeah,
for sharing that.
of course.
I know you got your chef jacket on. You probably got to get. I just wanted to close with three questions, if I could.
Sure.
The first would be, what ingredient or food are you working with or eating these days that you're really excited about?
My favorite thing lately is lion's mane mushroom.
Can you tell me
Um,
about
it's a fantastic mushroom. It almost looks like a cauliflower when
that?
you're looking
Oh,
at it. Large and white, just vibrant white. But when you start to tear apart the mushroom, it breaks up almost like it's like shredded crab.
ooh, wow.
So we love making crab cakes out of it.
Oh,
So
that's a
crab
great tip.
cakes, but it's a
Yeah.
mushroom. It's vegetarian, and the lion's mane mushroom actually has amazing health benefits. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's great for your blood. It's great for your memory. It's an all around amazing food to eat.
I'm gonna try that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Next would be do you have a good piece of advice or a tip for our home chefs that are viewers?
keep it simple.
That
Sometimes people are watching all these shows and they want to, all right, well, I can make this garnish, I can jellify this, or I can liquefy that. And you know what? Salt and pepper, keep it simple, have fun, and don't be afraid to mess up either when you go to
okay.
do the bigger.
Yeah. Through the magic of editing, most of our viewers don't see the things I mess up.
Ah,
Okay, so the last question I have for you is, what would be your death penalty, about to have your final meal in your life? Oh, you're laughing.
I love it. It's amazing you ask me that. I ask every single chef and cook that applies at my hotel that very same question.
Well, I think it's probably pretty telling. So you probably have an amazing answer already right here.
Oh, yeah. If I had to say anything, it would be my great Aunt Dee's brajol.
Can you tell
So
us about that?
brajol is an Italian dish where it's pounded out flank steak um, with pine nuts and raisins inside,
I know
um,
this dish.
and then rolled up and then roasted off in tomato sauce.
Oh, that sounds marvelous.
Just so amazing. And you cook it for the entire day, really slow, really low. And when it comes out, you slice it. It almost looks like a cinnamon roll on the end
Of
of
meat.
it. Yeah, of meat. And yeah, from the pine nut crunch inside of it to the raisins to that meat that's just falling apart. It's
Oh, and I can't
one of my
imagine how the
favorite.
house must smell all day.
Ugh, yeah.
That sounds great. Chef Mikey Termini, I am so grateful for your time and your expertise and your charm. to kick off this new series. Anything new going on with you that we should look for?
Um, we've just been nonstop at our property. We keep pushing the envelope, and the biggest thing is we just opened our newest, our oldest, newest restaurant, Quinn's, at the hotel. It's been under construction for about a year and a half
Wow.
now since the hurricane.
Oh, of course. Very exciting.
So,
Anybody
yeah,
who's in Florida, make sure you get to Marco Island and look up Chef Mikey Termini. His food is as wonderful as he is. Thank you so much, Chef. I am so appreciative, and it was wonderful to talk with you.
thank you, Diane.